Hey guys, what's up? It's me, your girl Elisa from StylishCurves.com, and today I'm back with a new video. I hope everyone has had an amazing week so far and is enjoying their weekend. Today we have a very informative video. Today I'm going to be talking to you all about how to shop for plus size clothing online. Now, I know you're looking at me and you're like, who doesn't know how to shop for plus size clothing online? But you will be surprised at how many plus size women don't know how to shop for plus size clothing, especially online. Anyone who knows me knows that I do not like online shopping. I am a brick and mortar store kind of girl. I need to go in the store, I need to try on the clothes, I need to touch, I need to feel, I need to stretch in the clothes in the fitting room, I need to do squats. I really need to get acquainted with clothing before I buy it. But unfortunately, as plus size women, we really don't have that many brick and mortar stores to shop in so that we can touch and feel and try on clothes. And the downside to that is that a lot of trendy, fast fashion, or designer plus size clothing is really online. Very few stores carry it. So I wanted to create a video that would be helpful and informative to help you guys figure out how to have a successful online shopping experience. Now, like many of you, I've been a victim of ordering something and it completely not fitting. I've been a victim of ordering something that I thought was cobalt blue and it turns out to be navy. I've definitely been a victim of crappy return policies online. And so I thought to myself, I was like, listen, I know other women probably feel like this, so I want to be helpful because I've done a lot of trial and error, and through trial and error I have been able to find the best way to shop online, in my opinion. So I'm going to share with you my top 5 tips on how to successfully shop online, especially for plus size clothing. Now, obviously, you don't have to be plus size to utilize these tips. You can be any size and utilize these tips. But because I'm plus size and Stylish Curves is all about plus size fashion, the video is going to be geared more towards plus size women. But by all means, I know I have all different sizes who watch my videos, so don't worry, the tips are universal. So if you are interested in finding out my top 5 tips to shopping for clothing online, then keep on watching. Alright guys, let's get started. Are you ready? Alright, so my number one first tip when it comes to shopping for clothing online is know your measurements. Knowing your personal body measurements is going to be the key to getting the right size. Now, what you will need to get your measurements is obviously a measuring tape, aka also known as tailor's tape. Now I have one here. You can use any kind of measuring tape that you have. If you have one in your toolbox, you can break that out and use that as well. But with a measuring tape, you have 2 sides. You have a centimeter side and you have an inches side. Now, if you are in the US and you're shopping for US sizes, you're going to want to use the inches side. If you are overseas, you are going to use the centimeter side. You can use either or, whichever works best for you, but I do know that a lot of the overseas online brands like Evans or Missguided and stores like that, sometimes their sizing is also in centimeters, but you can just use inches if you want, whichever works best. So with your measuring tape, you're going to measure your bust area. You're going to measure your natural waist. That's where clothes naturally fall on your waist. And then you're going to also measure your hip area. Those 3 measurements are going to be key in helping you find the right size online. Alright guys, so now tip number 2. Tip number 2 is to follow the size chart. Let me say that again. Follow the size chart. Following the size chart is key with knowing your measurements. Those two are actually really combined together. Now, the reason why you need to follow the size chart is because every online brand is different when it comes to sizing. This is the same as designer clothing. Every designer cuts their clothes differently. So you could be one size in one online brand and you could be a completely different size in another. For example, Two of my favorite places to shop are Eloquii and ASOS. Eloquii sizes are completely different from ASOS sizes. In Eloquii, I can normally just get my regular size. In ASOS, 8 times out of 10, I have to size. Make sure when you are following the size chart that you are taking your measurements and you are matching them against that specific brand's size chart. That's going to help you know what size you are in that brand. So here's a prime example of how sizes can vary depending on the brand. So as you can see on the left, the ASOS size chart, it says the chest size 14 is 43.7 inches. And then on the right, where it says Eloquii size chart on top, it says the bust size 14 is 42 inches. So following the size chart is going to help you pick the best size. Tip number 3, read the product description. When you read the product description, you're going to look for some key information. What you're going to look for in the description is the type of fabric the clothing is made out of. The second thing you're going to look for is the length of the item, whether it's pants or skirt or even a top or jacket. Most times they will list the length of the item. The third thing you're going to look for is if the item has stretch or no stretch, and it should also include the percentage of stretch. Now, most online sites will be very detailed about the description of the clothing. I'm going to use Eloquii as an example again. No, I'm not being paid by Eloquii, but I actually really just like their site for online shopping. But they are very detailed with each item description. Now, you might get some other sites where the description is like 3 sentences. But the reason why you're reading that product description is so you can figure out what type of material the clothing is made out of, the length, and then, like I said, if there's stretch or no stretch. That's going to help give you an idea of how the clothes are going to fit you. So I'm on Eloquii right now and I'm looking at a dress. As you can see, it says that the dress has non-stretch. It's a woven fabric. It also lets you know the length of the dress. And other things that you can find in the product description is whether the dress is supposed to fit loose, if it's a fitted dress. It lets you know if it's fit and flare. So that's what you want to look for. Alright guys, almost done. So tip number 4 is to read reviews. Reading reviews are super duper helpful. For example, I'm going to give you a personal experience. So for me, I shop around. I don't only shop plus size brands, I shop non-plus size brands. If you guys have been following me for a long time on stylishcurves.com, then you guys know I constantly talk about how to shop non-plus size stores, because a lot of non-plus size brands do carry at least a double XL. They at least carry a 16 or an 18, so you might be able to get away with things. And then, as I said in the first tip, knowing your measurements, that's helpful when you're shopping non-plus size stores, because when you're following that size chart, see how everything goes together? When you're following that size chart against your measurements, you can see, well, I might be able to fit a 16 in this brand, although I might be a full size 18 in plus sizes. So that's why these tips are important. But anyway, back to my personal experience. So like I said, I shop a lot of non-plus size stores, and one of my favorite stores to shop is Loft. Loft is not a plus size store. They carry up to a size 18, and I'm not an 18. I've been an 18 in about a year or two, but that's a whole nother video. So I picked up a dress in Loft that I actually wore in a previous video, which I'll link down below. So I picked up this, it's like a tropical print shift dress. It's actually a cover up, but you can actually wear it as a dress as well. And I picked this up in a size extra large. Is it an extra large? Yeah. Okay, yeah. So I picked this up in a size extra large. Now, with these boobs, I haven't been to extra large in a couple years. Again, another video. But I picked this up in an extra large, and to pick it up in this size and for it to fit like it does, it fits perfect, is because I used, number one, I used the size chart, and then I saw like, okay, this extra large ain't gonna fit me according to this size chart. But what I did was I went and I read the product reviews. Product reviews are important because people are sharing their personal experience with that item of clothing. People are telling you, you know what, this was too big, this was too small, the material is cheap, things like that. That also helps you to know if that item's going to work for you. If you notice, a lot of online retailers, they now send a separate email after you've purchased something requesting that you complete a product review. It's helpful to them because they know, okay, well, this item is selling because people love this, that, and the third about it. They'll also know, well, this item isn't selling because so many people complained about it. Now, back to this dress. So this dress, clearly the extra large, according to the size chart, would not fit me. But when I went to read the reviews, a lot of the reviews said that this dress was too big. A lot of reviews said, listen, this dress looks like a sack, it's no shape, you need to size down 2 whole sizes. And that was all I needed to read, because I said, these are probably Mrs. size women. So they are, you know, size 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, up to a 14. So I said, if they're saying that this fits like a sack and it's swimming, there's a possibility that this is going to fit me perfectly. And so reading those reviews is why I got this dress and why it actually fits and looks super cute on, because I read the product reviews. And that's why it's also so helpful to read them, because it can give you a more in-depth look at the item based on someone else's experience. All right, guys, my 5th and final tip is to read the return policy. The reason why I am including this as a tip is because return policies, very much like in-store return policies, can be a pain in the butt. Just like when you go to a regular store, sometimes the return policy is 7 days, 14 days. You must have the tags. You can't return nothing without a tag. Or some return policies are like, you know, you can't return final sell. It's the same thing online. And before you purchase something, you need to make sure you are personally okay with that return policy. You need to understand how long it's going to take to get a refund if you want a refund. And you need to understand how long you have to return something. The most important things is that you need to make sure if the returns are free. So online store like Torrid has in-store and online. But online, if you return something, you have to pay for that return. You either have to pay up front when you take it to the post office, or they're going to deduct it from the credit that you're going to get back for the item that you're returning. So knowing that return policy is super important, so you're not frustrated when you get something and it doesn't work out. Alright guys, so I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope my tips were helpful. I do want to continue doing more videos like this, so if you liked it, make sure you thumbs it up. Only if you want to, no pressure. But if you like the video, definitely thumbs it up. Leave a comment below. I have been thinking about doing another video on where to find the best deals on plus size clothing. So if you're interested in that, definitely leave a comment below. Thanks so much guys for watching this video. Check out the blog stylishcurves.com, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.